Kirk Caldwell, and he'll have a few words to say.
Who doesn't think this doesn't go with my shirt? Hey, thank you, HGA. Thank you, HGA members. Thank you, HGA retirees. You know, it's an honor always to come here, to this exact room, to speak to members of the HGA, both active and retirees. It was maybe 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, that I got the HGA endorsement in this very room, full of hundreds of people. And it felt so powerful and so strong to have the backing of your membership. And it's been a good 2 to 3 months of running since then. And the really good news is polls are showing, polls done here by your union, polls done by businesses like Silverbeat, shows that I am climbing, while the other 2 guys running for mayor are dropping. And that I've actually passed. Thanks. And I've actually now passed Peter Caldwell. Which is good. And I'm on that climb, and I can't keep climbing this mountain. You know, we all are climbing mountains in our life, right? It is a journey. When you're born, you start learning, you go for it. And I'm climbing a very difficult mountain. I put together a very good team. Part of that team is the HGA team. I can't get to the top without all of you helping me get there. I know that. That's why I'm here today. That's like, oh, I got the endorsement HGA. Thank you very much for the pat on the back. I'm going to go home and I'm going to get elected. We know it doesn't work that way. We need to earn, each of us, Brian, Eloise, Joy, we need to earn your vote. Local style, right? You got to go out and earn it. I was doing that this morning with John Wadahar, waving signs with him. And I think his dog Hoku, can you hold up Hoku, sleeping there? Hoku gets more votes than me. But who wouldn't vote for Hoku? She is a vote-getting machine. And Brian and Eloise, you can't have her. So I'm getting there to the top. And you can help me get the rest of the way by going out after today's meeting, telling your friends and neighbors and loved ones that you really got to get out and vote for Kirk. He almost won last time. On election day, just 2 percentage points behind. And what a difference would have been if I was at the city already. You have a current mayor. We've talked about this before. But what does this mayor say? He says, for you who are now retired, those who aren't retired, that you're lazy. He said that at a hearing at the beginning of this year when he put in legislation to break up collective bargaining by county. So there would no longer be equal pay for equal work around all the counties. Each county would have different pay, different benefits, and Peter Caldwell loves that because he finds that he can negotiate as a mayor for just this county and not have to work with the mayors of the other counties because he doesn't like to work with other people. His style is not one of collaboration, working together. It's about blaming and fighting. So he says you guys are lazy. He says that furloughs are paid vacations. And ask guys who are working whether that's a paid vacation and how it keeps giving back. It's unbelievable that he looks at the membership of HGA, both active and now retired, as somehow not having to do anything with the business of the city. When you know, when you go to work every day, you're making the city work. I know that. And if you don't work, this city starts to fall apart pretty darn quick in some very critical, up and close and personal ways. And when the work is done well, who looks good? The mayor. So why would he pound on public employees? I don't get it. You got Ben Cayetano, right? Are you all retired in this room? Yes? Did you live with the legacy of the payroll lag?
Yeah.
Yeah? Are you impacted by it even in retirement? Yeah. That's his gift to you. He talks about, he says the rap on me is Caldwell's never made a difficult decision in his life. Like how somehow Ben Cayetano has made all the difficult decisions. Each one of us in our room, in this room by the way, has made difficult decisions in our lives. You don't get out of this life without making difficult decisions in very close and personal ways. And I bet you I could go to each one of you and ask you to describe a difficult decision you made. and it's probably very hurtful and sad. And somehow he thinks, because he was governor, he's the only guy who made a difficult decision. Bold. You know, I support rail. You draw a line down here, half will be for rail, half will be against rail. Supporting rail is a difficult decision. You got to go out every day and explain how it's going to work and what the problems are and try to address concerns and fears. All Ben has to do is say, no, no, no. That's an easy decision. I mean, that's just one example. But here's the other thing. Ben Caetano, some of you were working after he won his second term. He begged for the endorsement of the HGEA because already you guys are getting hoo-hoo with some of the things he was doing. He begged for the endorsement. You gave it to him. He got elected, and what did he do? He fired 1,000 employees, state employees, even though his personnel director said, Ben, you don't have to do this. Wait 8 to 9 months, and through attrition, 1,000 people will retire. But Ben said, no, I want to look tough. I want to look hard and decisive. I'm firing 1,000 people. I'm rifting them. We all know people who have not had a job. Sometimes they're our loved ones. What does that do to your self-esteem? When you're not working, and your spouse, your children come home, and dad and mom isn't working and can't help pay the bills. It's really hurtful. Why did he do that? To make a statement? To prove that he's tough? Will he ruin people's lives? You may know some of those people got rifted. I don't know why he did that. So you got 3 distinct choices, really distinct. They all begin with C. They all have 7 letters. Only one doesn't have facial hair. Vote for the one that doesn't have facial hair. But you got clear, distinct choices. And I think my style of leadership, not sitting behind the desk, but out in front, like I am here today, engaged, looking to work together. That doesn't mean fighting. We fight together too, but together. I learned that from being born in Waipahu and raised in Hilo. I learned that because that's, in these small plantation communities when I was a kid, is how people got stuff done. When you stood there and pointed your finger and blamed, hard to live in that community, hard to work in those communities. So I carry with me those principles to this day. Just some personal things that some of you may know. I'm married to Donna Tanoi. I'm very proud of her. She worked for the state under Ariyoshi. She was the bank commissioner for the state of Hawaii. And then she went on to become the chair of the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, under Bill Clinton. Now she's vice chair at Bank of Hawaii. A strong, independent, powerful woman that I listen to most of the time. And when I don't, I'm usually wrong, and I wish I would have learned later. Her family owned the Tanoi Simon's stand on Wailea Avenue, you may remember. Her dad was a surgeon, first board-certified surgeon of Japanese ancestry in Hawaii. Came back, had a hard time getting a job. One of his first patients who walked through the door was, who do you think? John Burns. And he remained with my father-in-law, I was his physician, until the day he died. In fact, after the headline, John Burns dies, Roy Toshiro Tanoi announces the death of John A. Burns, because he was at his bedside. So I'm very proud. We have one daughter, Maya, who's much like the mom, tough, independent, strong, and just graduated from high school, is going to go to school on the East Coast this coming fall. That's a little bit sad. So I'm really just honored to be here today. I promise this to you. I mean, I don't like politicians who promise, but I'll put it this way. For retirees, and I know Brian, when I got elected to the House from Manoa, Brian was the head of our team Manoa. He always taught me about the contract that we have with all of you. That means the people of the state of Hawaii to the retirees. You worked hard all your life. You got paid a wage, you got promised certain benefits, you got promised certain retirement pay in negotiating with the state and the county. That is a contract. Brian and I are lawyers. We understand what a contract means. That contract cannot be broken once you've made your decisions, once you've made your commitment and you're retired based on those promises, which I believe are legal promises. I understand that. We have a covenant with all of you for the work that you did to make our state and our county better. And it cannot be touched. It's irrevocable in my mind. If you want to change things, The negotiation with a union like HGEA, you change it for the guys coming in, not those who have made their life decisions and retired. I'm committed to that. So I'd be honored to receive your support. Thank you for letting me talk longer than I should have.
How'd you know?